Hello. Good morning and welcome to Morning Pages Live from Dublin in the hair on our side. Anyway, yeah, hope you're well. We do 10 minutes of this. We do 10 minutes of free writing, stream of consciousness stuff to get rid of all the gunk. It's part of Julia Cameron's Artist's Way practice, which is traditionally a 12-week thing. You can kind of do it as long as you like. Some people do it in a group, some people do it solo. It is tough solo, because there's a lot to this book. There's an awful lot to this book. But what it's trying to do is trying to answer that call that's sometimes inside of us, the call that says, get up and do it. Get up and do it. Shh. Get up and do it. Write the poem. Dance the ballet. Scrub out the garden. Declutter that shelf so that you can put a pretty portrait on it. Throw out the socks with the holes. Get rid of the tights, the hose that are just, they make you feel horrible. It helps us get rid of that feeling. A little small step of action helps us tremendously. And sometimes it's nice just to vent all that stuff out onto pages. Traditionally, we call them morning pages because it's suggested that that's what they look like. So they can be legible, they can be doodles. But basically, you're asked to do them first thing in the morning when you're waking up so that, the voices can't really get in, the judges can't really get in. And also you have maybe a wee bit more time in the bed. So sometimes I've done morning pages lying in bed and the eyes closed. And that's when things were really tough. I just had to do that, So I have had mental health issues over the years, just kind of from life, nothing particularly traumatic. But life sometimes gets in under our skin sometimes. And if you're anyways creative, typically you will find that you are a bit more sensitive than most. And a lot of the people who are around us either can't handle that or get tired of it or don't know what to say or how to treat, that they're, a lot of us are raised with, kick up the backside and get on with it kind of thing. So it can be hard to show compassion to the people around us who are, let's say, very sensitive. It can also be quite hard to show compassion to ourselves. So that's a lot of the reason why a lot of the people do the Artist's Way, is to start kind of caring for themselves a little bit more. So a lot of us are not seeking a creative career. We might be seeking a little bit of creative outlet or a discovery of ourselves. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So today I'm talking about something. Good morning, whoever's on, and good morning to you if you're playing on a replay. You're very welcome. We do this Monday to Thursday, and on Friday then we go longer, So we just keep it to kind of short many times, Eva, hello, good morning. Great to see you. Great to see you. So today I was driving back from school, had the radio on. Of course, it's holiday season, Christmas season, and the song Jingle Bell Rock came on. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. I don't know who originally sang it, okay? But there I was driving, and the music behind it, electric guitars and nice gentle drumming, that was all the same, okay? So imagine the song. There's a singer going jingle bell, and then there's an electric guitar, there's a bass, there's a drum. And everything kind of sounded, this, it sounds the same, but there's something off. There's something different. And I was driving fairly slowly, and I was kind of tuning into the music and going, just stick with this, Nicola. Don't change channel. There's something the matter here. There's something different about this Jingle Bell Rock. I knew there was something. I just couldn't put my finger on it, you know? And, it struck me that that's sometimes a little bit like what we experience as we go through life and as we go through, let's say, a creative practice, something's just not quite right. Um, I don't quite like how the mark that I'm making on this canvas is turning out. It's not just the right color of blue. No, I don't like this pen. I can't write with this pen. So there's something slightly off. We just know there's something slightly off. It can go deeper again. It can go deeper again that let's say you're writing a story, you're writing a fiction story, and something's not quite feeling true. It's feeling slightly off. And I have experienced that before. I have experienced it where, let's say, writing a story in a voice that's not quite mine. I'm following someone else's advice. I might have come out of a class, I might be in a writing class, and the right kind of teacher will allow you a bit of wiggle room, but a lot of the teachers I've had have not allowed wiggle room, and they're quite prescriptive, or rather, I've taken their advice as being prescriptive, and I'm so eager to make it work that I've taken it and I've applied it. Oh, if the girls tell me to do this formula, I'll do this formula, and it means that the story that came out of me was not very organic, and it didn't feel right to me. It felt slightly off. It feels not quite real. And I don't know about you, but I can't really put my name or my seal of approval or my blessing on something that doesn't feel like it's true, like it's real for me. Does that make sense? So it can be hard to kind of tune into what is right and what is off and what is wrong, you know? And then taking the step to go and correct that, that's even harder. But back to the Jingle Bell Rock, okay? So I had a little bit of a drive and I was listening to this song and something was still off and I couldn't put my finger on it. So anyway, I listened and the DJ announced who was the singer. And she says, that's Jingle Bell Rock by Hall and Oates, right? Now, we all know who Hall and Oates are, US duo who had a string of hits and album after album and sold out left, right, and center, but not singing Christmas songs. They were singing, I don't know how would you describe Hall and Oates? Alternative, rhythm and blues, maybe that kind of thing, but with soft rock, I suppose. And I remember them from a child. I really enjoyed them, and I still enjoy their music. And when I heard the DJ say that was Jingle Bell Rock from Hall and Oates, I was like, oh, that's the reason why. Because Hall and Oates have never sang a Christmas song in their lives. They've stuck with the soft rock. They've stuck with the power ballads, whatever it is. I don't know what their genre is, but it's certainly not Christmas songs. They are not Bing Crosby. However, as a creative person, we are curious. Okay. So let's say you're a soft rock performer, like Hall and Oates, and a little voice inside you says, let's do a Christmas song. You know, what happened in that situation? Did they find themselves at a crossroads? Did they find that they were really tired of doing the soft rock? Maybe one of them had a child, and the child said, Daddy, please do a Christmas song for me. You say you're a musician. The child isn't interested in soft rock. The child wants to hear from Santa, you know? So sometimes our own child wants that, and our own child is going, I'm curious. I wonder, could I do a Christmas song? I wonder, could I break away from this genre that I've had success in, that I enjoy doing, and that people say I'm really good at, and people really love it? What would happen if me, as a musician, would do a Christmas song? Well, Hall and Oates, they listened to that little voice and they got themselves into the studio and they executed a fantastic Jingle Bell Rock that, yes, it is different to the original, but it feeds a part of them. It feeds whatever urge, whatever need they needed to fulfill that Christmas, you know? And I don't know that for a fact. I'm just proposing, and I know that that's how it works for me. That's how it works for me as a creative, that there is a little bit of curiosity. It doesn't mean I have to, go and become the Christmas singer. Hall& and Oates are still making soft rock alternative music, producing and mentoring and, probably tinkering on a bass as well every once in a while. But for a little while, they had a little foray into Christmas songs, and that's allowed. That's allowed, you know? But I noticed today that things were a little off, and we know that feeling. We know when something feels slightly off, that we need to maybe correct it a little bit. Often it's one tiny detail, one tiny thing that we need to change. We just need to, um, straighten up the steering wheel a little bit. So I hope that's of some help to you, because as creatives, we're often pulled in different directions. We're often pulled left, right, and center, and we've more ideas than we know what to do with. I know I am anyway. And on the artist's way, we're given permission, we're given community, to go off on that tangent, go off here, go off that, to try things. We use our artist states. We talk about it in our morning pages. So whatever curious thing this week brings you, um, do yourself a favor and let it marinate for a bit, and see, would your inner child like for you to go and make a Christmas song? I'm joking. I can sing, but I can't. I don't know how to record or anything like that. But I'm raising two little singers, so we might get a Christmas song from our house yet. I don't know. Right, let's see who's on. Eva, hello. How are you? Great to hear from you, and thanks. I hope this is of some help to you. Mandakini, good morning. Hello. Mandakini says, I find it hard to self validate and often too insecure to ask for validation advice, so I don't send the work out. I hear you, yeah. And I think that there's a couple of different things you can take from that. We we can get validation from outside, and we can also get it from ourselves. We could fall into the trap, Mandakini, of thinking that it has to come from us first. But my advice is always the same: do the work first, and tune into, I suppose, the real voice, because that real voice has such strength and such courage and confidence that we then get validation from that. Does that make sense? So the more we work, the more um, true the voice becomes, the more true the artwork becomes, the more true the self-expression becomes. And uh, with that truth, and with the notion that this isn't necessarily coming from me, it's coming through me. It means that you're just the delivery person, and at that stage, you can choose whether to send it out into the world or not. Um, One thing you might consider, if you don't already have a Manakini, is an editor of sorts. That is, before you send the piece out to the world, because I know you do those kind of, I think, articles. I think it's nonfiction that you do. It's sometimes helpful to have like a mentor or an editor or just a colleague who isn't at your level, who's maybe a couple of steps above, in that they've been sending out work for a while, and they've had work accepted for a while. Does that make sense? The reason being that they will lift you up. Um, they will, chances are, they'll be supportive. They'll know the fear. They'll understand the fear. And I had a couple of people do that for me. One in particular pops into my mind, and with one line, she could lift me, and she didn't, she wasn't, when she and I corresponded, I would, write a piece, I would send it off to her, and there was always a deadline as well. And she would come back and say, "Great, send me another one." It was really short. There was no judgment. There was no. It was just like, "Yeah, pass. You can come through. Yeah, come send it." Does that make sense? So it can sometimes help. Um, so I'm not sure if you're sending work to an editor and that's your kind of gateway, or it can sometimes get a little bit complicated if they're the ones paying you as well. So yeah, look, the insecurity is really it's normal. It's really normal. I'm not saying it's okay. um, so let's get going on our pages soon. But Eva says, yes, the real voice is coming through. Yeah, that's what pages are so magic for. Oh my God. It's one of the main reasons I do this, because I walked away from writing 3, 4 years ago because it just didn't feel like me. And I couldn't stand over it. I couldn't put my name to it and say, that's my work. I can talk about this for the rest of time. Because when we send it out, we kind of want to know that we can live with it, that it's not going to come back and haunt us and drive us mental, or um, trip us up in the future. I would like to send it out and know that it was real at the time. It was true at the time. Does that make sense? So the more we do the pages, the more that real voice is given permission to come out. So Amanda Keeney says, yes, it does help. Oddly enough, I have been and am that person for several others. Oh my God. Me too. Me too. That is so bonkers. That is so bonkers. Well, look, you're well rehearsed then. You're well trained for this job. You're well trained for this job. You have the experience. Look, just lean on me, lean on us for whatever we can do. We're absolutely here for you, just to even talk about this kind of stuff. Um, Amanda Keeney says, I don't actually have someone for myself, and I've always done that pro bono. Yeah. Look, I don't always have the lass I was telling you about who gave me the one line. She's not a constant at all. She comes in sporadically every 4 or 5 years, that kind of thing. So we sometimes we do have to stick up the hand, drop the email, and say, listen, can I have 30 minutes on FaceTime or something like that? Amanda Keeney says, I understand that feeling all too well, especially regarding poetry. Yeah, absolutely. Look, let's get to the pages. But it's I suppose, yeah, taking that leap and sending it out is sometimes the hardest thing we can do. But I suppose it's easy for me to say, but when we hit the send button, um, they can either come back, say yes or no, and that's, we just have to keep on breathing and keep on writing and keep on working. Just keep on working. The work is vital. It is vital. It keeps us alive in so many ways. Guys, let's get going on the pages, shall we? Yes, a pseudonym. Yeah, I did that for years. I did it for years. And I can't talk about it on the internet, but I did it for years. I'll drop you a DM. All right. Shall we go? 10 minutes, yeah? And go. I'm serious. Yeah. Let's do our pages. 10 minutes. Let's go. Never mind the noise. Never mind. Never mind. Right. Swap inks if you like. Our 10 minutes are up. We're going to review for 60 seconds. Okay, you ready? And go. Wow, that flies, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right. That's it done. Okay. Well done. Doing your pages. Congratulations. Good start to the week. Fair play. Well done. Well done, me. Yeah. 10 minutes is a lovely connection. The more we do it, the easier it becomes. Yeah. Big thumbs up, big heart. Thanks, guys. I'm going to let you go. I'm not staying on. I have a rake of stuff to do, a lot of which came out on the pages. Things like, oh, don't do that because remember, was a wee bit of a chat, a wee bit of chat with myself, saying, "It's busy already. Don't add to it," you know? I hope that these are useful to you. We do them daily. We don't do them at the weekends, or rather, I don't do them at the weekends, which means that as and when you need to, let's say that emotions do hit at the weekend, it means that you can give it 10 minutes or you can give it 3 pages, whatever you like, you know? So bring that compassion to yourself, bring the compassion to your practice. Okay. Connect with yourself. Yeah. We're going to do our 3 deep breaths. You ready? Okay. In for 4, hold for 4, and out for 4. We go in. In again. I want to hear audible exhales this time, okay? It's so bonkers. Mandakini, I will drop you a little private email or private message somehow, and we might open a dialogue about that. But yeah, look, you're known and you're in safe hands and you're heard. So let's keep that conversation going if you like, you know, and if not, that's okay. All right, listen, I will see you tomorrow. See you then for pages. All the best. Bye.